Well, here's an interesting story. Have you ever been caught in a rainstorm with an umbrella and wonder how to stay driest? Should you run or should you walk to the rain? You mean like if I'm in the parking lot, it's raining and I have to get to the building? Will I get less wet if I run versus if I walk? Yes, that's right. I've always thought it made more sense to run. Well, that seems to make sense. It seems like if you are out in the rain for a longer period of time because you are walking, you get wetter. But it seems a little more complicated. When you run, rain hits in front of your body more, so then you have to calculate how much of your body is exposed and for how much time. I guess it's more complicated than it seems at first. And then if there's a wind, if it's windy, it seems like it could make a difference. I hadn't thought of that. If the wind is blowing rain at you, then you probably get wetter. Well, some scientists have spent a lot of time for this question and they finally have an answer. If you run in a live rain without a lot of wind, you stay, let's see, 16% drier. Only 16%? I expected more benefit. Maybe it isn't worth the effort of running. Maybe not, but there's more benefit to running if it's a heavy rain, especially with a lot of wind. In those conditions, you stay 40 to 40% drier, 40 to 44% drier if you run. Okay, that's better. So if worth running if it's windy, yes, and when rain is heavy. What I want to know is, how did they do this research? Well, at first they did equations to calculate the different conditions in a rainstorm. Scientists worked it out mathematically, but then two scientists in North Carolina decided to actually do an experiment. First, they went out and bought identical clothes, shirts, pants, hats. Then they measured out a 100-meter track outside of their office building and waited for a rainstorm. When there was finally a good rainstorm with wind, they went out and one man walked around the track while the other ran. After they finished, they weighed the clothes to find out how much water had been absorbed, and they found that the person who ran get less wet. His clothes was 40% drier. You know, the two scientists actually say that the experiment was kind of a joke. They weren't really taken seriously, but in the end, other people were interested in the results. That's interesting, of course. If you just carry an umbrella, you wouldn't have to think about any of this. Yes, but who always remember an umbrella?